All right, I think we're live. Dave the Hare, welcome. All right, 3-card Monty, welcome. We got Dylan, how you going, man? Kyle, what's up? How you doing? Landon, welcome, man. MattyK. All right, we're live. Looks like hopefully it's all working. I've had some internet problems the last few days. My modem died, so fingers crossed we are all good. I replaced it and it was a pain. I had to go through a few modems to get one that was kind of like working, so we should be good. All right, Scotsman, welcome. MattyK, Amanda, welcome. Darren, I always try to say your first name and I can never get it, or the first username handle. Alright, we're playing the Fender Tele today. This is the Harley Benton copy, the 52 Fender reissue. It's pretty much exactly the same as the Harley Benton back here. So I don't know who copied who, man, but this is crazy. Let me just move this over here so I can see what's going on. Alright, so kind of some cool news in an interesting sort of way. Obviously, Toman saw the video I did of the their Tele. So I ran an idea past them, considering it was kind of scuffed up already, and they offered to send me another one. I said, look, I don't care about that stuff. You know, the marks on the guitar don't really bother me at all. So I figured what I'd do is maybe try a relic project on it, just for something to do. I've never done that before. I've sanded necks on guitars and a few other things, but I don't know, I'd kind of like to see if I can turn this into a bit of a relic job. I don't know why. I'd like to try it, and I'll obviously have if they send the other one, I'll obviously have one that's kind of nice still. So then we can do a bit of a before and after thing. I'll put a video together, you know, documenting the process. I don't know. I came up with some pretty creative ways to maybe make it look a little road worn. So I thought it might be a bit of fun. We'll see how we go with that. All right, is that Tele only $135? I think that's US dollars. Yeah, it is. That's the cool thing about it. I played it live on Sunday night. It was fine. It played great. It sounded good. It actually sounded really just like any Telecaster, like really good. All right, I might have been jumping the gun, but what happened with the GT amp? I'll get to that in a sec. That's from Dave the Hare. Modems are very simple machines, yeah, and I'm an ex-IT professional as well, so I'm on a particular type of ADSL2 profile called ANXM, and not every ADSL2 modem supports ANXM, and sometimes they say they do, but when you get it, they don't, because the speed doesn't actually reflect the compatibility. It works, but it doesn't work properly, so I had to make sure I got the right one. Do a painted overlook. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, that might be something to think about. That's the one thing about that guitar. Unlike this one was really high gloss, but all the marks and scratches you see on this is through 10 years of playing it. So this is like this black spot here. Sorry, the lights are pretty crazy. Black spots on this is just sort of worn out over time. You know, I've had this different sort of plate here for probably 5 years, so I swapped that out to one of those angled ones. I've had the frets replaced on this, and the back of the body's just it's beat up through use, which is kind of how it should be in a way. But I don't know, I just thought I'd give it a go. I always wanted to give that relic thing a go and just see how it plays and feels after the fact. And you can't really sort of stuff it up. That's my thinking. It's all, you get a bit of creative freedom with it. I'm going to obviously probably get some, high-res photos of other guitars just as some sort of reference. I think that would be the best way to go. And then I'll just go to town. I'll do it all by hand, so no tools other than, hand tools. I mean, no like electric sanders or anything. All right, Harry, welcome. Danish Pete did a video on painting his Les Paul. Oh yeah, I saw that come up in suggested. I haven't seen that yet. I need to check that out. He's a great player, that dude. How are the P90s in the Harley Benton? Really good. It's a great guitar. In terms of just quality, it's as good as my PRS SE. Tuners are good. Tone's great. The paint job is stunning on it. It's really good. I'm kind of shocked. All right. Newcastle, UK. That's from David. Welcome, mate. I got backwards. Alright, morning Shane. Relic it if you buy all the parts that look relicked. 2 humbuckers. Dirty old Paff just ordered a PV Envoy for the lounge room. Oh, cool. Oh, Willie's awesome, man. I haven't seen videos from him pop up in a while, but he was on YouTube back in the day as well. He started around the same time I did, I'm pretty sure. I remember watching him shred. He's a great player. Alright, so we've got another guy from Ottawa. Welcome, Mike. What's that? I had one of those Harley Benton Tallies, but I traded it for my 335 style Levin. I don't know Levin guitars. One day if I want a Tally, I'd consider one again. Yeah, that's it. I mean, look, this is going to be my #1 Tally. Obviously, I've had it the longest, and it's a guitar for me that I'm never going to sell. I don't even want to replace this, you know, with anything else. I just love it. And that is so similar in the hand, the way it plays. It's kind of disturbing how good the other guitar sounds and plays. So I took it out and played on Sunday. I reckon I arguably had some of the best neck pickup tone I've had on a single coil Telecaster pickup. I still prefer the Bardens. These pickups are just really nice. I like them. But yeah, in terms of single coil Tally pickups, that neck pickup is just really great. So if you haven't seen my review, I did put a pros and cons video up about it, and yeah, I'm stunned how much I actually like it. It's kind of a bit disturbing. I back in the early day, I thought a lot of people were sort of saying favourable things about those guitars just because. But yeah, they're pretty cool. All right, Gina says, "Hi Shane, I'm wondering if you have any low-cost recommendations for a pedalboard power supply and pedalboard switcher." In terms of switches, Joyo is probably some of the cheapest ones. And if you want a good power supply, you don't want to buy a crap cheap power supply. There's nothing worse. So check out some of the Kalen ones. I use one on all of my videos that I do, which is it's on the floor somewhere. Where is it? All right, it's in my drawer down here. I must have tidied up. So I use that on all of my pedal demos. There's a smaller one that I got as well. I did a pedal board video a little while back, and I sort of had a look at their power supply, this new little one. It's small and it's black and yellow. I can't remember the name of it, but that's a great choice. I take that out and I plug it into my delay pedal if I'm using my Marshall. I like it a lot, and I don't think they're that expensive. You can't really relic a polished finished guitar. I don't know about that. I'd like to give it a go. I'd like to see if I can get it happening, because I reckon you can still kind of scratch it down far enough. I'd like to hope so. I guess we'll find out. Also, another one I recommend that I used for years as well, it died after probably 12 years, was the Visual Sound One Spot. They've changed their name now to True Tone or something. But they're really great. You'll get a lot of life out of those things as well. Some people say they make a bit of noise, but I don't. I've never had that problem with it. Power supply adds a lot to the mix. No worries. Power supply is not my favorite band. Mark, welcome. Play the wrong thing, you play it twice. So it sounds intentional. I'll maybe switch over to the other guitar too. Alright, Levin, we're a Swedish company that made acoustics back. Semi-acoustics way back when. Okay, cool. It sounds familiar, but yeah, I don't know much about them. Like, I've heard the name, but yeah, that's about as far as that went. So, in an interesting turn of events, last Sunday, as in a couple of days ago, I had my Fender Mustang GT-100 out at a gig, and it stopped working. Completely stopped working. So I emailed Fender. Stuff can go wrong too, you know, like I'm not going to make too big of a deal about it, but yeah, I had it up at gig volume and just the screen was still on and there was no white noise coming out of the speaker at all, like just nothing. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I was spewing. It sounded great. Like I had a few people just go, man, the tone's great. Like what amp is that? And I said, oh, it's the GT-100, and then it just stopped. So I turned it off, turned it back on. It wouldn't load back into the you know, the software part. It would just stay on the black screen. I got it home, I plugged it back in, and it turned back on. And I just let it run. And after about 5 minutes on the dot, it just nothing, no sound at all. So, and then it hasn't turned on since. So I don't know what's going on. I'm waiting to hear back from Fender. Hopefully they can sort that out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Ben, welcome, mate. We got. I don't know if I said hi to Todd before, but if I didn't, welcome, mate. Jason says, okay, so you've had the Atom T7Vs, I always say that the wrong way around, for a couple of months now. Any changes on the feelings towards them compared to the old KRKs? No, they're way better. My KRKs are sitting over there on the floor. I don't even want to use them again. They're way more balanced. It's a much better editing, just engineering experience, especially on that live mix. That was the first mix I used the Atom audio monitors on, like a proper, other than the backing tracks I used for YouTube. That was the first kind of project I sat down with and tried to mix on them. And that live mix we did wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. Obviously I don't want to spend more time. That whole video took 3 days, right? So it wasn't an easy project to do, but they made the process easy. I could hear all the frequencies a whole lot better than I could on my old speakers. The KRKs, I used to have to undermix the bass. So in terms of value for money, I think they're way better. I remember back when I first bought those speakers over 10 or 12 years ago. It was somewhere around 2007 or something like that. Maybe I bought them. Would it have been around then? Maybe earlier. I can't really recall. They were like $1,100 in Australia, like 550 each, right? These are like, I think they pay that for both, and just overall in terms of vibe, they're just so much better. Yeah, I just find that they're a whole lot easier to get the sound. Like what I'm trying to say is, if you've never mixed on any speaker before, or if you haven't used any monitors before, you kind of got to get used to them. You'll mix at home, you'll put the thing in the car or whatever, and you'll listen to it there, and you'll go, oh man, the bass is too heavy. And these are things I learnt how to mix on the KRKs. I produced a number of albums that had airplay on those old monitors. I mixed stuff that got played on Triple J for other artists, like electronic stuff as well, and a whole bunch of different stuff. So I was kind of just used to them, and I knew how they sounded. I had a lot of stuff set up just that worked. The Atom Audio ones, man, they're not as loud. That's probably the thing that I don't like about them as much. They don't have as much volume as the KRKs, but overall I think they're a better speaker. Lefty Mike, welcome. Are you still loving the PRS Custom 24? I don't see me playing it anymore. I played it all the time. I put a live gig video up, when was it, like 4 days ago? And that's all I played on the first 2 sets. So, yeah, I play it all the time. I like to mix the guitars up on the videos too. I could play that on every video, but I kind of find like if I do that, like when I used to use this all the time, people started whinging about it. Now I haven't used this on videos for a little while now, so it may start making a bit of a comeback. It's just one of those things. I like to mix up what I use when I make videos, but when I play live, the PRS is my go-to. I play it even over this. New Jimmy Page tally next month. Who's getting one? Price will be crazy. That's from Metal Maniac. Yeah, it'll be insane. Hey Jamal, welcome, mate. I think that's how you pronounce it. Bad luck with the Mustang. Mine's still going strong from 2010. Yeah, so the old ones are built like tanks. It's funny, you know, I went into a shop the other day and I saw a couple of them waiting for repair, and I thought, oh, that's kind of weird. Some of the new ones. Yeah, mine just stopped working. Hopefully it's easy fixed. It's not a huge deal. I mean, look, it didn't cost me anything, right? If they don't want to fix it, that's fine. I'll pull the speaker out and run it over with my car or something. Jason, thanks, man. Oh, that's the Lando. Sorry, man. Habs, welcome. We got Will. All right. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I think we're planning on doing a couple more of those not live stream gigs, but those live playing gigs. We came up with a couple of different ideas for what to do on the next one as well. Like I've written like 5 albums worth of stuff. So we might do some originals, we might do some blues standards on the next one, we might do some different stuff. So yeah, get a couple of different players in the mix. Hopefully one of my friends, Brian, who couldn't make it, unfortunately, he's a great singer, guitar player and saxophone player and bass player, the smartass. But we might, if he's free, he'll be there, and he's a monster player. So yeah, we're going to try and do at least one of those every other month or something like that. They are a big project. There's no doubt about it. There was a lot that, you know, just editing that really pushed my poor old iMac to the end of its capabilities, I think. But it was fun, you know, like, and that's what it's about. It's funny how many people were sort of surprised that we play live or whatever. It's just something I've done since long before YouTube, and I always say this, it'll be something I do long after. And if you don't play live, I keep looking at my regular camera here, sorry guys, get out there and play. It'll make you a better player. You know, if you can get through a solo live, you're doing all right. Jason says, I always have great content as well. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. 100,000 celebration gig was off the hook. So if you didn't see that, guys, just type in the blues live jam #1. Just with a, you know, hashtag 1 or whatever. And yeah, you can check us out in a live situation with the guys. And that was all improv. Like, none of it was set up. We went in and we played. It's like, yeah, here's the feel. You kick off this one, I'll start this one. Let's just play and see what happens. And that's kind of what I was hoping would happen, that we'd capture some good bits, you know, and that was, yeah, that's the whole intention of the jam. It's different. If we had gone in with songs, look, it would have gone okay too, if we all knew the songs. But the thing is, the jam idea is to play in the moment, right? Not to sort of have pre-rehearsed stuff or whatever. So you go in and you just, it forces everybody to listen more to what's going on, which is always cool. When am I coming back to the States? Would I live there? Yeah, you know, like, there's certain places I could definitely live. There's certain places I wouldn't want to live, much like Australia too, you know. I say that about anywhere I go. I don't know. I maybe, like, I turn 40 next year, right? Which is crazy in June. So I'd hopefully like to do some sort of something for that at some point. So maybe around June or July, which is always cold here, so it works out well. Good thing about playing guitar over sport as well, even though I think, you know, doing exercise is important, is you don't really get worse the older you get. There's a point where you obviously you can't play as well, but the comparison between, say, playing any kind of sport like basketball versus playing guitar or any instrument is completely different. You know, a lot of guys hit their prime in their 40s or 50s, especially some of these blues guys. Whereas if you're a basketball player, you're done by, you know, 30 something. So, you know, if you're lucky. So it's one of those things where, I don't know, I'm glad I found it. It's going to be something I'm clunking around on until the end of time. I enjoy it. Unless I stop playing, but I can't foresee that ever happening unless I, like, hurt my hands or something. Yeah, how old are you, Landon? Older than me. So what's the plan with the Harley Benton? So for those who missed it, I'm going to turn it into a relic guitar. I'm going to try my hand at relicing a guitar for the first time. And for those who missed out why, Toman emailed me and they said, man, we're really surprised that slipped through the cracks. And I said, I don't care, it plays great. Like, that sort of stuff doesn't bother me. But they were like, no, we want to get you another one. I said, don't worry about it. He's like, no, we'll ship you another one out. I said, well, what do you want me to do with this? They're like, just hold on to it. I was like, all right, how about this for an idea? I was going to buy another SX guitar from Cash Converters down the road. How about I use this as that Relic project guitar? And we'll see if it works. Like, a few people are saying that the gloss might make it hard to Relic and all that. But I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. We'll see what we can do with it. I'll try and document it along the way, and we'll see if we can get it to look old through really easy means. So I'm not going to be using any fancy chemicals or anything like that. I'm just going to be using sanding tools and files and all that kind of stuff. So have a listen to this now. Sound pretty good still. Fox Marsh says gained 20 pounds from playing guitar. Got to find some time to work out. I'm tipping you might have gained 20 pounds from eating or lack of exercise. I don't know if blaming guitar's the catalyst for that, but it's not uncommon. Yeah, you gotta balance out your day. Just go for a walk for 20 minutes, lunchtime, 1 o'clock, or 5:30 p.m. Just make a time and go. Come back in half an hour, and you'll never look back. Did Dr. Rick get the other Harley Benton since it's right-handed? Yeah, well, that technically is his. I've got it here still at the house, so yeah, it's sitting here right now. But I don't plan on getting rid of it. I think having a right-handed guitar around would be good. He just said leave it here for a while. I asked him actually if I could leave it here because just for a little while anyway, because I want to have a few other guests in possibly as well. Might be a fun guitar to use for that kind of thing too. Is it a poly finish? I think it's just like this high gloss, so I'm tipping it is. The cool thing about this guitar though is it's satin neck, so that'll be really easy to do. And yeah, look, I don't own a sander, like a proper one, one that's electronic, so or electric, I should say. So yeah, we'll see. I've got a couple of ideas for this. We're gonna try and make it fun. I like Shane, PV and Fender. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it's looking a little bit too busy back here. I was almost going to get rid of the Studio Pro the other week. I was on the fence about selling it, and then I decided I wanted to sell it, and then I went, you know what? No. So I'm not going to keep it. I just hadn't used it for a while. I'm not making that sound again. Was this the guitar with the tuner issues? Did I like the guitar? What pickups are in it? Yeah, so I did a full review of this. If you want to see it, just type in Harley Benton TE52 and that'll bring up all the information. So when I said that this had tuner issues, it was not that they were unreliable once you were tuned. It was the fact that like some of the tuners don't feel the same as other tuners. So some are tight, like a bit too tight. Some are loose, and you got to, not loose as in it'll lose tuning. Loose as in just that takes a while before they actually start to move the string. That doesn't slip out of tune or anything like that. Like I said, I played this live Sunday night and had no problems with it. And I think it sounded as good as some of the more expensive tallies in the room. So in terms of tone, and tuning stability, the tuning stability is fine. It's just the tuners aren't like even across the board. You tune any guitar, they all kind of feel the same. These don't. But it's not a deal breaker. Like, these are exactly the same tuners that are on the back of my SX guitar. So yeah. Chisel a big chunk of wood out of it. That's from Kevin. I got a few funny ideas for it. And I'm glad, like, I gotta say, the dudes from Toman have been really generous. I'm not used to this kind of thing. They're like, kind of like looking after us as opposed to just wanting something from us all the time, which is kind of like how a lot of companies treat YouTubers. They're like, oh, we want this. Well, I don't even know if I want to help you. They're the exact opposite. So it's been a pleasure to have stuff come in and for them to be kind of supportive. And oh my God, what's going on here? MattyK. All right, hang on a sec. I just saw this come through. What's your first impression on the Harley Benton pickups? What do you think now? Keepers or need replacing? Nah, these pickups are great. This neck pickup is the best straight up single coil neck pickup I've played in a while. It's got a better sound than some of the boutique ones I've had in my other Telecaster. Both pickups sounds great. Still get that bite on the tops. So these Roswell ones, I think that's how you pronounce it. Like Area 51 or something like that, maybe. They're great. They got the chime. One thing I did notice at a really high gain is if you're on the bridge pickup and you're in really close proximity to your amp, it can squeal a little bit, but most tallies will do that. So I keep looking at my other camera. Let me move it. I'm so used to just looking at this one. I'm going to move this so I don't get confused. There we go. I'll probably start looking at the floor now. Yeah, so that's basically, in terms of how it sounds to my ear, I like them. I'm not going to bother swapping the pickups out. If I ever did use it as a project guitar, and then I wanted to play it out live, I'd use it with the stock pickups. I'm pretty sure, like, there'd be no reason for me to swap it. If you accidentally sent that through twice, mate, which it looks like you did, I'll if that came through twice, I'll get that back to you. So don't worry about that. Yeah, look, I think YouTube take like, yeah, I'll get that back to you, mate. Shoot me an email, and I'll PayPal you back. That's all right. I'll shoot you $5 because then we'll work out even anyway. Because YouTube take 50%. So, put some nails in it. Yeah. So shoot me an email, Matty, and I'll sort you out. The Rosewood and Paisley Tally come with much better hardware and tuners. You could be right. I don't really know much about that. I'm streaming in the future. That's from Hoser Technology. Oh, welcome. I got a lot of old Hoser. I'm pretty sure they're Hoser patch cables, like they're stereo plugs that go from like a mixer out into a recording console. I've had them forever. They've lasted a while. I'm pretty sure they're Hoser. I actually did a video on my tech channel about all my cables, and I'm pretty sure they were Hosers. Yeah, so we're at what time is it? Almost 11 a.m. here on the 18th of December. Roswell was built by aliens. Well, that's maybe how they keep the price down on these things. It's crazy. I love the neck pickup on my TE52, but we'll be changing the bridge eventually for a Barden. I think that like Shane's in the... Oh, cool. So that's from Habs. You can't go wrong with those Joe Barden pickups, man. Mine's the modern bridge. Rick used to have the regular bridge pickup. It's one of those things where it... you just got to work out if you like something with a little bit more attitude or not. I think the benefit of the modern one is it really holds like high gain stuff, no problems at all. Like I can almost treat that other Telecaster like a, you know, Les Paul or whatever if I need it to, or it just sounds like a Tele. Whole crew's in here. Guitar pit? Yeah, absolutely. Bridge pickup's awesome. Oh, that's a terrible bend. Almost slipped off the chair. Nah, Matty, you don't have to do that, man. Look, let me... Thanks, dude. If I can help you out, or if you have some questions or whatever, then, you know, feel free to email me or whatever, mate. I'm happy to help. Here's another super chat to say, don't refund me anything, mate. You're way ahead of me in terms of the entertainment I've got from your channel. It's all good, man. Thanks a lot, mate. I appreciate that. You don't have to use the super chat, but I do appreciate it. So thank you. It's a funny old thing, the super chat. It's like, oh, there it is. Matty, I'm gonna put your name in the title of this video. The MattyK super chat live stream. Oh man. Alright, so thanks again, mate. But yeah, in terms of what I was saying before about this guitar, I like it a lot. And it looks so similar to a mate of mine's Telecaster that was at the Jam on Sunday. And it was pretty much, tone-wise, very similar. And visually as well. It's great. I heard a mix between Stevie Wonder and the Kool and the Gang. Three guitars I got behind me right now is the Fender, the Little Crow, and this. If we want to hear anything in particular, let us know. I might swap over to Little Crow in a bit. I'm getting my other Little Crow, my main one, the black one that I haven't played for a while. It's getting refretted, which is going to be awesome. So I'm going to get bigger frets put in, and it should make it way more up my alley. I can't wait actually to have that back. I haven't been playing it a lot, and the reason is the frets were just too small. So they were big, and then I had problems with those frets, so I got smaller ones put in, and it just didn't feel right. So once that's back, it's going to be great. Alright, so in terms of all this stuff back here, I've said this on a couple of posts before. I did a video about it actually, about changing. It's called like bluesing up my wall or some stupid name like that on the video. But I get all of these printed at an office supply shop. So I just go to Google Images and I find posters of bands I like, and I find the ones that kind of look like they'd be printed okay in terms of size. And then also in terms of their dimensions. A lot of band posters are actually thinner than what you see here. They're like about, I don't know, 2/3 as wide as these ones. So they don't print very well. You got to find ones that are close to an A4 or A3 aspect ratio, whatever you want to call it. So once you do that, I just USB stick, $1.50 each or $1.20 each, and that's it. So I'm gonna mix up the wall coming up pretty soon. I've got this little guy I want to put up somewhere too, and it's the problem with the not that it's a problem, but the silver play button thing is very, very reflective. I tried it in a few spots behind me, and there was nowhere that it wouldn't just blind you. All the light just comes straight back into the camera, and I can't shoot videos like that, so I need to work out how to do that. Any recommendations regarding cheap pedals this year? Any favorite brands for under $100? Kalen pedals are awesome. They make their latest range of pedals, especially the one that was like the Klon. They've got one called the Ghost Rain Delay. That's a killer. I think Jamal's got that actually. So they had a whole lot of really great pedals that were inexpensive. That would be probably the top of my list. I really like their stuff. Sonic Cake was another company I did videos for, and they were really good. Especially, they're small. I don't know if you're into small pedals or not, but I think they come in at around under $100. That would definitely be high on my list. In terms of other ones, I'm just trying to think. I didn't really do a whole lot of cheap pedal videos this year, or inexpensive pedal videos. I did more sort of mid to higher end stuff. With the exception of a few other brands, but I think most of the ones that off the top of my head, I think the ones I could recommend most would be the Kalen stuff. I reckon they're great. There'd be nothing to stop me using like the Kalen version of a Tube Screamer and Klon and their delay live over any of the stuff that I take out now. It would sound just as good. Just like some of them are slightly larger pedals. That's one of those things. The physical size of them is a little bit bigger, but they're not heavy, which is cool. So Jamal, I don't know if we break the news to everybody, mate. Jamal got I don't want to get you divorced or whatever if your wife happens to catch this, but Jamal bought a absolutely rockin' Flying V lefty, and I saw it. He sent me a photo of it, and I was like, "Dude, I want it." So yeah, congrats on that, man. The Flying V's in the house. You gotta get a video up, mate. I want to hear it. I want to see you play and check it out, because that's on my gas list big time. Silver play button just placed on the right of the Harley Benton. Yeah, look, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I don't want to get it damaged or anything either. So I need to make sure if I put it on the wall, it's gonna stay there and not get sort of knocked off. But yeah, I guess the only other thing, did my live stream just die? No, we're good. Sorry. The only other thing that's coming up, which I picked up, is this. So I think I might have mentioned this on somewhere, but I don't even know where. I might have posted it on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's at intheblues _. So the Marshall 2x12 box is the box I used. Oh yeah, I mentioned it on what was it? That little cigarette box amplifier thing. So that's going to be used for all the low watt amps, like the Joyo stuff. Well, that's not really low watt, but 20 watts. But also the Harley Benton head, which is killer. Wait till you hear this amp with some pedals. It is really, really cool. So I'm going to start using lower watt amps a little bit more on my channel through that box, as opposed to using the 2 notes for a lot of the stuff. I think I can get a pretty wild sound, especially for the inexpensive sort of pedals. You'll hear it coming through the speaker again. I think that's probably a good way to go forward. I won't be able to do it all the time, but when I can, I'm definitely going to be using it. 3-card Monty. That's funny. I don't have one of those pedals, man. So I think Tone King's got one. So if it's not live already, I'm pretty sure he'll be doing a video of that. Hi Shane, Christmas greetings from the UK. What happened to the video of the Kayla Multi FX S6? It's coming up, I think, tonight, so stay tuned. I think the problem was I had it. What I do, right, I upload all my the videos I finish in a day, I upload overnight. Sometimes I hit schedule so they'll go live at a particular time, and other times I forget, and I go to bed or whatever, and the next day I just forget, and I went live at like the wrong time of the day on the wrong day with other stuff that was going up, so I took it down. So I've got 3 of their pedals. The one that the Scorpion or whatever it was last week. Tonight will be the S6, which is overall a pretty great multi-effects pedal. There's only one thing about it I don't like, and I mentioned that in the video. And then next week we're doing my first acoustic pedal, which has like a volume and gain control. Not like a distortion, delay, reverb, chorus, and like a 3-band EQ. So, and it's also got a direct out into the mixer. So yeah, that should be fun. So also I should point out, any of these videos that I've done for Kalen recently, their website was down. I had no information in the instructions about the pedals, so there's a bit of guesswork in there, but I think it's accurate enough. So yeah, I didn't take it down for any other reason than it went up on the wrong day. I don't like to have too much of the same stuff going up all the time. I like to try to mix up, what goes up and what type of video goes up in any particular week. So yeah. Greg, welcome, mate. 45 minutes in, I should pay more attention to my email. So if you'd like to be notified of the live streams, click the little bell, and that's, I know Greg's probably already done it, but if you haven't already done that, just click that. You'll get like a notification. Even if you're browsing YouTube, I think something will pop up and say, hey, In the Blues is live. Jason Wade says, based on your current camera view, in between the posters and the right monitor, would be minimal reflections. Yeah, you're probably right. Actually, I was thinking about having it over there. I definitely want it in view. The thing is, right now I'm running 1 lamp instead of 3. I find the webcam gets, the last live stream I did, I was like blown out exposure wise, so I'm using less lighting for live streaming now. It seems to work better, but with my proper camera I usually have 3 lamps on, sometimes 2, just depends. So yeah, and sometimes the floor lamp changes position. It's kind of nerdy stuff, but I have a light box I have on the floor. So if I've got something like an amp on that amp, I can have it on the ground and it will light up the actual controls a little bit better. And that might wreak havoc with where I place the play button thing. But yeah, so everybody, thanks again. I posted a video about receiving this thing, and I thanked everybody. But yeah, thanks again, and it's cool. It feels good to have some recognition from YouTube. They don't contact you very often, it's unless something's wrong, So yeah, it was cool. It was really cool of them to send it out, and yeah, it's awesome. I'll work on another one now. I actually went through my subscriptions and cleared out like 50 the other day. I don't know about you guys, but I realized I had like 200 and something subscriptions, and a lot of the channels I just don't watch. I was like, alright, I haven't watched a video from this channel in like 4 months. Gone. So yeah, I'm going to be a bit more focused in on what I'm watching these days. And if you have a YouTube channel and you're watching this, I haven't unsubscribed to you. I've unsubscribed to a lot of the random ones that I found, you know, over the last couple of years. You know, like there's that one video that blows you away, and then you watch the next one, you're like, oh, yeah, all right, you just lose interest. And that's how the algorithm works, for those who don't know. So if you create content that's always kind of engaging, they push those videos out. And then if you find one you don't like and you kind of and then it sort of doesn't become recommended again. Nelson says, excuse me, Harley Benton is making guitars for a ridiculous price these days. Absolutely. You know, now I've tried this, I would buy one. You know, like I would for that price. It's insane. I don't know exactly how much shipping is to Australia. I did look it up a couple of months back. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to sort of giving this seeing what I can do with it, relic-wise. We'll see what we can do. Nick, welcome, mate. How are you? Relic it and buy a red-hot branding iron for your In the Blues logo. That'd be kind of fun. Roy Buchanan's version of Hey Joe. It's check it out on YouTube if you get a chance. It's bizarre. It's like, not only, you know, I don't know how many people are familiar with Roy Buchanan, but he's kind of like one of the original Telecaster gods, I guess. In not a Telecaster, in not a country sort of playing kind of way. Yeah, it's just so bizarre. Like his tone's crazy, his it's just like the most relaxed vocal I've ever heard. Like even more relaxed than Mark Knopfler. And then, or JJ Cale, and then just this crazy guitar playing. It's just crazy. Thanks, Terry. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. This is great. Like I said, for me, I don't keep stuff I don't like, and I don't keep stuff that I'm never going to use. I really think I'll get use out of this, and worst case is it'll be hopefully a fun video coming up once I do another one about the relic job on it. So there was a few things I was going to do, and then I thought, no, I'll try something a little bit different with it. I'm not going to give it away. I think I've managed to sort of come up with a kind of funny video. We'll see. Live at Austin City Limits, that's the one, Jamal. Absolutely. Steve says, I just bought my first Harley Benton recently, an SC 450 LP gold top with P90s. Awesome. Very good out of the box. Local guitar tech reckons it's as good as most Epiphones he's seen. 138 pounds in the UK. That's really good. So the Harley Benton Les Paul style electric that Rick and I play, or Rick played it while we were away. It sounded awesome. So there was nothing wrong with that at all. That was actually probably one of my favorite ones, and I think I've got one of them coming down too soon, which is pretty sweet and a lefty. Michael, welcome, mate. Play Freebird. You know what? Should I get the chords for it? I don't really know it. Let's do it. Let's give it a go. I got 2 screens. It's all over the place. All right, here we go. Looks easy. This is the way, I'll just change it a little bit. Is that the whole song? Where's the chorus? Where's the chorus? Oh, here it is. All right, so I think it's the same all the way through. No wonder everyone plays this. Everybody! Alright, do we have any other requests? I'm like a human jukebox when I can get the chords up. No, I'm only kidding. I'm not a human jukebox at all. Alright. I just don't like the reversed headstock. I'm not sure what that was. Oh, yeah, okay. So the Cabronita style tally. I actually really like the look of that. I don't mind it. I've never owned a guitar with a reversed headstock before either, so yeah, it'd be interesting to sort of see what they're like. Lighter in the air. Jason, thanks, man. That's hilarious. Now play a 20-minute solo. Done. Can I crank up the gain? What is it? We're in G, right? So let's just crank up the gain. I'll do the rest later. Oh, that's funny. What an easy song. That's great. I played it a couple times when I was in Florida. Like I jammed it out because it was like Freebird. Everyone wants to hear it, but yeah, it's not something that I ever really looked up. What's the Pete Thorne Harley Benton called? We did a video on it. I can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head. I'm sure if you just type in Harley Benton Pete Thorne model, it'll come up. I'm pretty sure. Fusion. There we go. Thanks, Bass Sax. Player, I'm just a country boy. Who's that from, Sonia? And welcome, if I didn't say hi already. Is that another Skinner song? I don't know if I know that one. Mustang Sally. Oh man. Yeah, that's the song. It just, you know, there's 2 songs that I can't stand playing because I played them to death. Every Thursday for like 5 years I used to have to play. Oh, how's it go? Oh, hang on. Shit, now I've forgotten how it goes. I can't think of it in my head. The Doors song. What's it called? Once I hear it in my... once I get the song. Roll, 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 solo man. Yeah. So that I played that wrong probably now. It's been a long time, thankfully. That and Guitar Hack says, in the blues, Mustang Sally is punishment for a cover band. Yeah, you know what? So is this one. You know what? If I was going to do a cover band thing, I'd do like nothing but the stuff I love. So I'd be doing like Dire Straits. I'd maybe learn some AC/DC in there as well. You know, just good rockin' songs. Thought it was going to be Lagrange. Yeah, I was trying to kind of think of the groove off the top of my head. Need to shower now. I love that. Look, I love that song. I like the Doors version. Old guy guitar vlog. Welcome, mate. Earl, how you doing? We've got Marcel. Welcome, mate. I don't know if I said hi before. Let it roll, baby. Let it roll. Absolutely. Alright, this chord bloody website's bringing up all kinds of pop-ups. Way to go. Alright, so we've got 128 people here. That's awesome. So, guys, if you can, give the video the thumbs up if you're enjoying it. That would be awesome. I don't know how many we've got in terms of thumbs up, but it's usually like 10%. Let's see if we can get it to 100. Unless it's already there, then I thank you all. Let's see how many we got. I'm not actually watching the live playback here. I just see the comments. What are we up to? What are we up to? 40. 62. Here we go. Awesome, awesome. So if you're on a mobile, it's kind of hard to thumbs videos up. I realized you got to kind of go up and then do it. But let's see what we're up to now. 66. 67. Come on, guys. There we go. That's inspired by the Tone King. Oh, 71. Far out, man. Look at that. There we go. Thanks, guys. That's almost close enough to 100. I'm way happy with that. That's great. What does the thumbs up do anyway? It's just look, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like interacting with the video. I think, you know, thumbs up or down are kind of like a way for YouTube to know people are engaging with the video a little bit as well, but I just like it because it looks cool. Any thumbs up is always appreciated if you do enjoy the videos. It's just one of those things. It's, I don't know, I do it for all the videos I watch on YouTube too. They're the ones that I like, I do it back. So it's just, I very rarely thumbs down videos unless I'm completely unhappy with it. Someone thumbs it down and thumbs it up. That's hilarious. So thanks, guys. Oh, 81, far out. Look at that. I still get nervous playing in front of the camera. Yeah, it's one of those things you just kind of gotta, you know, you gotta have your grab bag of licks and you gotta have your stuff you're comfortable with. And what I learnt with doing what I do is I try not to bring new stuff in until I can play it pretty well. The reason why is because if you play it poorly, it shows. And if you play it, I mean, there's stuff that I play that's not perfect or anything, but I'm saying like, you gotta play stuff with intention as opposed to wondering if you're getting it right. So once you sort of get enough stuff, you can kind of just recall it and play the stuff you love. You know what? I'm going to actually make an effort now to get. I got this big wall behind the camera. I'm going to get all the stuff that I can play and print it out, because I forget I know stuff until it just pops in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember playing that. Can I find out who thumbs down or thumbs up videos? I don't know. The only way oh, hang on. I got my first thumbs down on a video. Don't worry about it, man. Like, any interaction with a video is usually good interaction. Even if it is a thumbs down. It's weird how it works. It doesn't work to your disservice if people are watching your video and, you know, giving it a thumbs down. Look at that Jordan Peterson stuff, for example. His videos get, you know, a massive portion of people thumbsing them up and down, depending on whose view it is. But they get promoted still because it's engaging stuff, you know. Not to say that the guitar stuff's like that, but that's how it works. So don't be too, you know, I get people just thumbs down the video as soon as it goes up. You'll get that as well, so just get used to it. I think overall, though, look at it as a way to improve whatever it is. You know, if I get less than 10% thumbs down on a video, I'm usually pretty happy. Of course, there's going to be people that turn up and expect you to shred or to play an EMG loaded guitar, or for you to have, you know, a particular type of sound that they have, and if they don't, they'll leave. You know, so you just don't really sort of want to get too worried about that sort of stuff. There's people that just don't enjoy anyone else's stuff, or they're jaded arseholes. To review the TE90 FLT. I don't know that one off the top of my head. My mouse is all the way over here, so someone post a link and I'll approve it, and then, or Terry can, and yeah, I'll have a look. I'm not sure what the TE90. Oh, actually, look, I'll tell you what. I'll be able to load it up here. Hang on. Here we go. I always get confused with model numbers. I don't recall them instantly. Yeah, so that particular guitar is on its way. So there you go. Yeah. It should be here, hopefully, probably in the new year now, I'm tipping. I doubt it'll be here before the end of the year. I really like this tele version, maybe the CST-24T, but I got to relax on my Harley Bentons. I'm pretty shocked about how great these guitars are. They're probably not as refined as like a classic vibe in terms of visually, but they've got better switches. The pots feel about the same. I much prefer this switch on this guitar of my old classic vibe. You know, it doesn't have the high gloss neck, but I'll give this much more credit. I way prefer the neck on this than my old Harley Benton. That was way too thin for what I like. That was part of the reason I sold it. Was the neck was too thin, and I always ended up playing back on my 52. So great guitar. I mean, tone wise, the pickups in those classic vibes are great. They look beautiful. I just much prefer the neck on this. So it's sometimes rare to find an inexpensive guitar that has a big neck. It's just one of those weird things. Okay, yeah, someone tried to... Yeah, look, in terms of the scratches on the fret edge, the fretboard edge, not the frets. The frets are fine, but it's not a huge deal, right? Like I covered this in the video. It's hard. It's going to be really hard to see on this crappy webcam, but basically, like I don't really care about that. But it's those little things that I know some people are. You know, they'll get a guitar and it'll look kind of scuffed, and they'll freak out, even though it doesn't affect anything. So, yeah, I mean that's really my only criticism. That and the and the tunings, the way the tuners feel. Thanks, Matty. You're a madman. All right, I'm gonna put your name in the title of this video. It is happening. It is gonna happen. Let me just paste this in. Boom. MattyK USA. People will be like, what the hell is going on with this name? You're crazy, mate, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, you got a request? Let me look up some sort of cheesy song here, and I'll see if I can butcher it online for you. Give me a tune. Oh, hang on. Did I just miss something here? Sorry. Chat's flying along. Oh, everyone's just laughing at Matty. Everyone thumbs down the video. Thanks, mate. Looks like I tuned in a bit late. That's from Daniel. Well, I don't know how long I'm going to go for today. We've been going at about an hour, so maybe another 24 minutes or something like that. 25 minutes. I'll see how we go. If anyone has any questions too, feel free to ask. It's always happy to try and help. I've got a wealth of pointless knowledge in my head regarding guitars and recording stuff and all kinds of weird things, so feel free to ask. I keep trying Squire guitars, but the necks just don't feel right. It's not the frets. I can finish off. Okay, it's just the narrow necks. Yeah, okay, so that's the problem I have with the classic vibe guitars. I mean, as great as they are, and if you like thin sort of, modern C necks, you'll love those guitars. But for me, they're a bit thin. So yeah, it's just the way that they do it. I don't know why. I guess what it is they probably want to convince people to go up to the next one. Like to spend a bit more money on something else. Brad says, didn't realize I was subbed. Just did. Thanks, man. Show the lick you did at GitCon again. Was that the Tone King one? Was it the... Oh, I think I changed it in the video because it was a bit complicated. Something like that, I think, from memory. I still do want to put together like a lick library lesson thing at some point. It's just such a huge job, and I keep bumping it back. I think my goal for next year might be to actually do that. Maybe a 30-minute lick lesson library video with all the stuff that I know from, not all of it, but a big portion of stuff that people who are wanting to get into blues guitar playing can use, as well as stuff that might be for those who already know how to play a little bit of lead as well. I'm better with concepts, I think, than I am maybe with lessons. How to approach a situation as opposed to maybe showing people how to play a lick. Alright, I'm going to grab this. Chat is flying along here. Shane, I'd love to hear your most bizarre stories you have about recording artists in your experience. Any weird gear or odd artists or weird recording situations. Yeah, I was in San Francisco and we put together this trio album. I guess, look, I don't even know what happened with it. We just did the tracking for it. It was a friend of mine, Jeremy, who's one of the Bay Area's best drummers. He's played with everybody. Chris Kane, he's played with, I think, Chicago. He's played with everybody, but he goes to the jams as well. This guy's great. So it was him and I, and this was supposed to be another guy that was supposed to be there, had to work or something, right? So I got thrown in. I was like, all right, let's do this. So the guys, I think the band name was Oratura. It was like a New Zealand name. And they had loop stations, and it was the most bizarre thing. Like, everything was laid up live. And drums and guitar, and that was it, and they turned up with nothing, and we had to like scrounge around to find cables, and they turned up in this like hippie van thing, like it was just like something out of Scooby-Doo. And we're in like a big factory warehousey kind of it's like an apartment, but it was a old warehouse. And I remember just going into that, like, we're scrounging through drawers trying to find microphones, and it was like no one gave us any notice of this. Like, my poor friend Jeremy just turned up, and we had like limited recording equipment as well. I think we might have had maybe two mics on the kick drum, and maybe one on the guitar, and then I think we might have done vocals after that. I can't really remember exactly how that went. No, I think the vocals were live as well. So we had 4 microphones, so 4 channels. Just, you know, my friend who's a great musician in the Bay Area has got a lot of music equipment, but we didn't realize we were doing it. And then all of a sudden we didn't realize, like, we needed to find everything with no notice. Anyway, we got a free t-shirt, and I used to wear that on all of my old videos. I used to love it. There was this grey t-shirt with this circle thing on it with their band name. And that was what we got for it in the end. It was crazy. We spent all day with these guys and gave them the stuff, and that was it. They just left. It's like, oh, I guess my friend I didn't expect to be paid. I was just helping out, but I thought my friend who was doing all the tracking was going to get something, but no. So that was kind of weird. I've recorded all kinds of different bands over the years. You know, it's funny. Like, I used to film a lot of bands, and I've also had that experience as well, where guys just don't. You know, you give them a disc at the end, and they go, "Well, I can't play this. What am I supposed to do with it?" This was back before USB sticks were readily available too. I'm like, well, that's not my problem. They paid me to film it. How else am I going to get it to you? I'm not going to give you a VHS tape, you know. So there were like all these, like, there's a weird time in tech where you couldn't get a lot of stuff to people digitally like you can now. You couldn't just upload it to YouTube or whatever. There's none of that back then. So yeah, I don't know. Another time was a recent time I've recorded an album that was #2 in the Australian blues charts here for a band, and you know, I had 3 guitar players come in one day. They were all really great players, and they all overplayed, except for one guy. The rest of them just overplayed, and I had to try to. My mission was to basically try to get. These are legends in Australia to some extent. They've had #1 hits. Some of these guys, and one guy in particular just don't play over the vocals. Yeah, no worries. And that's all he did basically was play over the vocals. So I've had a lot of situations where I've had to sort of take stuff and move it around and try to get it to work and pick the best parts without offending anybody that was on the recording. And you know, it's a fun and interesting experience. I don't do a lot of it. The last album I produced for anyone that had airplay was last year. Actually, it was two albums last year, but yeah, it's a pretty long process, and I only do it now for people I know, because if I start working with people I don't know, it's a mess. I want to know that they can not only, you know, pay me for my time if I do it, but also that they're going to pay me, you know, and that they're going to be happy with the results, and it's not going to be a forever kind of project. So for me now, recording is. I do it for myself, and I'll do it for friends, but I don't really do it for anyone else. Sometimes I get projects sent in, someone's like, hey, can you master this? And I'll go, yeah, no worries. And bang, it got onto Triple J. I was like, hey, awesome. So Triple J, for those who don't know, is like one of our big radio stations here. So I should do a video about that at some point. I don't really talk about that sort of stuff much, but it is good fun. So yeah, I've had there's probably a whole lot of different. Actually, there's a whole lot of other ones I'm thinking of now as well. Any experience with those cheaper DIY guitar kits? Nah, look, I almost wanted to try one, but I don't know if I've got the patience for it, to be honest. A lot of the stuff you get with it, from what I understand, is pretty crap. Like the pickups are going to be garbage, and I mean, I'm sure there's good ones out there too, but pretty sure like the tuners look pretty bad. Daniel says the worst is when the guitarist is playing over the vocals. It's the second worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world is a harmonica player who does it. It's the frequency you can't get out of your brain. It's horrible. What's your best advice for a beginning guitarist? That's from Jeff. I would probably say find what inspires you to play and try to work out how to learn that. And don't bother with a lot of the stuff you don't want to learn. It'll make learning way less fun. Don't find an instruction, you know, a lesson, what do you call it, like an instructor or whatever that teaches you stuff you're not interested in. I wouldn't bother. Pat, you're awesome. So wait, you don't play over vocals or use VHS? Look, you can get away with a slight, you know, trail end of a lick or something when the singer's about to come back in. You can get away with filling it to some extent, but yeah, no, I try not to. The worst thing I see at the jams, I've whinged and moaned about this, not our live jam that we posted, but, you know, last Sunday again, it's just guys that just have to play chords like... It's like, two things. You've got a volume control, and that sounds terrible. Like, what else can you play? I always say if you go to a blues jam, and you know this chord, like a 7th, G7th or whatever, take off this finger, play the bottom half of the chord. Don't go like this. So try to, in terms of also learning, play along with albums and try to complement the album. Don't try and play the part if you can, but also just try to complement the album as well. Try to work out where to play and where not to play. That was a huge thing for me. Like, I used to listen to Clapton, Albert King, all these guys, and you listen to their phrasing and you go, okay, so this is, and Mark Knopfler, so they're playing between the vocals and here's what they play, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, just try to work out what not to play. Hey, we got Robert Baker here. Congrats on the 200,000 subscriber milestone, mate. You'll be getting the next. I said this to you on maybe on Instagram. You'll be getting the next. What is it? The Platinum Award, probably in about 6 months. Let's crank up the gain, just for Robert while he's here. This is my Marshall DSL profile that I made. I might have to go over to the boogie. Should do a Robert Baker 200k song. What do you reckon? Let's turn it down. Oh, I just dropped my mouse. I really got to get this set up a little bit better. Well, not better. I just got it more organized here. Let's see some Winger. I don't know if I know any Winger, man. I don't even know if I know who that is. I'm so like out of touch with good bands. Let's do a little if I can make up something on the spot here, man. Here we go. You ready? You got 200K. Because you like to play all day. You got 200K. And because he rocks, maybe? I don't know. Does that rhyme? Something about guitar, yeah, makes Robert Baker wanna play. It started about the 200k thing, and then it just ended up about you wanting to play guitar. But yeah, go subscribe to Robert Baker, guys, if you haven't already. He is the shred man. Well, actually, like tastefully, there's shredders, and then there's guys that can shred but also play extremely well, and also play all the hits. He's the king. All right, there we go. Making that up as I go. He did that for me at one point, so I thought, you know what, I'll return the favor. Give him a song he'll never forget. One bad thing, listening through headphones. Yeah, sorry if the mic was probably clipping something chronic then, was it? I probably should have moved back. I wasn't watching it. The live jam was great. We need more. And interview the poor drummer. So I did interview the drummer. And it was just like, I wanted to try to keep the video under 30 minutes, and there were 2 drummers, right? So it would have been 2 more interviews, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to leave it out. They basically, we weren't going to do it, right? And I said, no, we'll interview the drummers as well, but it just didn't feel like it fit in with what was going on. So we left it out. I guess most of the people that watch are guitarists, but maybe next time we'll do that. It was basically just a quick kit overview, and it's a really nice kit, no doubt about it. But yeah, look, it just didn't sort of fit in with the time limit I wanted to try to keep on the first one. It's really, really hard to get that video under 30 minutes. There was just a lot of good playing, a lot of bits I didn't want to cut, and in the end, that's kind of where we ended with it. But you're going to see more of those coming up. Absolutely, we really enjoyed doing it, and I think it's a good point of difference too, you know. So the other night I've now worked out Sultans of Swing on bass. I've been playing it. One of my friends is attempting it at the jams now, and I've learnt it for bass as well. For those who haven't heard Mark Knopfler's new album, go check it out. It looks like my album cover, which is Bizarre This Road, and not a whole lot else on there. There's this super funky song on there. He's using a wah pedal, and it's killer. Maybe the most unique sort of song I've heard from him in ages. I mean, he's great, right? Like, I love his albums, but this is just completely like different, funky, bluesy kind of vibe. Very Mofro. If you don't know Mofro, that's another band to go check out. JJ Gray and Mofro. They're a band out of Florida / Georgia. Just a great band. Like, and this Mark Knopfler song's got the horn section. It's got the vibe. Really cool. And I've had it on repeat, that song, now for a while. It's just it's really, really cool. And actually, how about this? I'll get you the name of it so I don't leave you hanging here. It is a killer. It's probably still on it, is it? Oh no, we got a different one. Oh, hang on, I don't want this to play because it'll get a copyright strike. Where is it? This makes for some great viewing. Sorry guys. Here we go. Down the Road Wherever is the name of the album. And the song that you want to check out is called Nobody Does That. See if that doesn't get you bobbing your head. It's a real killer. It's really, really cool. I'm sure you already answered that, but what's the guitar behind you? That actually is something that I was going to plug into, but I didn't. This is the Little Crow Kestrel, which is an Australian guitar. And it basically has 2 TV Jones Filtertron pickups. And it's got a volume and tone control. And it's great. So it sort of still got a lot of gain on my sound. Sorry guys. It kind of looks like a 335 in terms of its shape. If you look at it this way, you get a smiley face here. You should have had a little control there, I reckon. It would have been awesome. Once you see that, you can't unsee that. 3-way toggle, nice big 50 style neck. Made it just out of Perth in Australia here. Justin Johnson, who's I think got like 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, got one of these as well. I got to send this back at some point, but I've got it for the short term here. But yeah, little Crow guitars. And it's got locking tuners too. It's pretty sweet. This is one of those things that makes you sort of want to. Yeah, I like it. I've forgotten how it goes. That's it. Some sloppy playing right there. And one thing about this too, it smells awesome. They use like an oil finish on it or something. It smells amazing. It's like the good kind of smell when you walk into a furniture shop. It's got that like, oh, this smells nice in here. All right. Guitar sounds so good, thanks, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I'm pretty unfamiliar with these type of pickups. It's not a type of pickup that I've ever really played. It's got its own sort of sound about it, I guess. Man, this neck's great. Shane and his smell thing. Well, it is a thing, man. You know, this like the first thing I noticed when I bought the Gibson Gold Top a while back that I don't have anymore, unfortunately, was like I opened the case. I went, oh, it smells so good. Like lace it with LSD or something, just to get you addicted to it. My vintage tee smells like that. I love it. Sometimes I smell the guitar and I don't even play it. If that's wrong, I don't. I don't want to be right. Yeah, exactly. It just, yeah, it's one of those things. Some guitars, just this smells amazing. You know, you could bottle it, just spray it around the house, whatever. Almost 100 thumbs up. Please give a thumbs up if you have not. Thanks, Sonia. I appreciate that. Amanda's back. Welcome. We're still here. Nothing wrong with that, Robert. That's from Ben. That's funny. We've got awesome guitar. It's called the Guyton Transporter RS. Okay, I haven't heard of that one before. Laser. I agree, some guitars just have the smell that makes them a bit more special. I think that's the same for guitar cases too, but that could just be me. Oh yeah, you could be right about that. Some guitar cases smell like dirty socks. Some smell like you could like crawl up in there and have a rest. Hey, thanks, Sonia. We now have a percentage of female audience attendance right now. This is the very first guitar YouTube guitar niche first. I said guitar twice. We now have a percentage, so it might be like 0.002%, but you know, that's a good percentage. So welcome the ladies. Like messing with weird sort of timing on that as well. Alright, amp, I'm not sure how to say that, says, having a conversation about hand-built travel guitars made for Brian May that I got to play, made by Andrew, the guy who made them guitar for Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh, okay, wow, alright, cool. Yeah, Daniel, you're right. Cats always love guitar cases, don't they? Yeah, they must be the smell, and they're soft. You know, they're usually on the inside of those cases. I was playing my bass the other day, and I took it's just a soft case, but I put it on the floor. I don't even own a cat, so if you follow me on Instagram, that cat isn't mine, it's my neighbour's. He just rocks up all the time when it rains or whatever, and he's out. So straight onto the guitar case. Just done. He was happy. Mix up the tones. Let's go over to the boogie. The nasty one. Here we go. Here we go. So this is my friend's Studio 22. That is just spot on, man. That just sounds exactly like how that amp sounds when it's recorded. It's crazy. Got the gain. What do I think of Toman guitars? Well, we were talking about the Harley Benton ones earlier. Just scroll back. We had a pretty big conversation on that. So far, so good. Like, in terms of how they play and all that, I've had no problems with them. I have a PV Bandit 112 with a Sheffield with a Celestion G12T 75. That clean setting sounds like the speaker has a rattle or buzzing. Anyone got any idea why? I did a video on like trying to diagnose amp buzz because it's a huge pain. So yeah, it could be a number of things. It could just be something, a screw is loose on the cabinet. It could be that the speaker itself has a flaw, or it could be that the basically if the speaker is touching part of the cloth that is part of the grill, sometimes it can be buzzing that way as well. There's all these really little niggly things you got to go through to sort of work it out. It really helps if you have someone else there. Sometimes it can just be as simple as like the reverb tank rattling or something like that. I would also check, if you can, try putting the speaker in a different amp, see if it makes any noise. Might just be the speaker's got a buzz, and that can happen, unfortunately. But usually it's something to do with the cabinet. It could be the handle buzzing, it could be a loose screw. Go over everything on the amp head as well, make sure the amp head's secure. I've had all of these problems before, and it's usually a screw that somewhere around the cabinet and something's just buzzing that little bit. So it's not usually the speaker. especially a Celestion. I mean, like I said, it can happen, but odds are I'm gonna bet that it's something to do with the cabinet itself, because I've been there a million times and I've had it happen a lot. And unless it's a valve amp or a tube amp and like the preamp tube's rattly, which you won't have that problem with the Bandit, then it's definitely, I would almost say that I'm gonna guess something on the amp itself is loose. Now those amps are pretty old, right? So it could be the baffle as well. Make sure that the baffle thing that you stick the speaker on isn't loose somewhere as well. Like, the older these amps get, the more that's probably pretty common as well. So try to find the note that resonates the buzz. Like if it's a B or a C or something, just find one note and play it over and over, and start putting your hand, like hit the note and then put your hand on different parts of the amp and see if it stops. And push around and see what happens. Get in the back of the amp and see if you can get it to stop making that noise. And that's how I kind of diagnose those problems. It's just trial and error. And like I said, it really helps if you got someone else there, because someone else can just keep hitting the note while you push around with your hands. Alright, here's a question here I missed. Let's go back up. Daniel says, anyone here had any experience with the Strauss pedals, Australian company, Chinese made? I went to try them out on my YouTube channel, on my YouTube, and the Overdrive in particular is great for the price. I haven't tried them. Strauss amps are been around forever. I think they've been around since the 60s or something, maybe the 70s here. I noticed a lot of quality control issues with their small combos, like their 5-watt amps just bottomed out and buzzed and all kinds of stuff. And this kind of tied into the last topic was, no, I kind of, look, their 30-watt combos are alright, but they're anything less than that, I'm not a huge fan of. But I haven't tried their pedals, man, so odds are, pedals don't have those inherent issues, so I'm sure they're going to be good. But yeah, no, I haven't actually seen them. A lot of Australian companies don't seem to really reach out to a lot of YouTube channels either. There's only a handful that really do. But yeah, I'll look into them. I mean, Strauss, they make some good stuff still. They kind of went off my map a while back once I got to test a couple of their little amps. I just went, whoa, these have got some problems. But their 30-watt EL84, kind of like a classic 30 kind of amp, that's pretty cool. Since buying my BOD, I no longer care about distortion pedals. Okay, cool. T. Dunster says, I had a massive vibration/resonance from my 59 Bassman. It turned out to be an unused old computer case rattling because it had no screws in it. It took me a year to work it out. So in the room, the buzz was something else. That's hilarious. And that can happen too, absolutely. Like, I remember when I first got my, what amp was it? The Supersonic 60, and I had it in my lounge room. I've got one of those old school gas heaters with the grill. I'm like, oh man, the thing's buzzing. It was the heater. So I think I took it to Rick's place or something like that. We were like listening for it and it wasn't doing. I got it home, put it in the lounge room, did it straight away. I was like, it's got to be something else. So I start pushing on things and it's the heater. So yeah, it could also, that's absolutely right. There's certain frequencies that just mess with you and something else in the room will buzz. And that's the problem I have with a lot of shops. You go to test an amp. Sometimes you think you're hearing a buzz out of the amp and it's the wall or it's something attached to the wall. Or the amp next to it can rattle. All that stuff. It's crazy. Mechanic stethoscope will pinpoint a buzz. Yeah, your hands also work, I reckon. Just feel around the amp. You'll be able to work it out. The G chord resonates with everything in my bedroom. That's from Kevin. Yeah, especially, like I said, my lounge room's a shocker for things rattling. It's horrible. I can totally get why the computer case was doing it. I know exactly what they're like. Which Bugera is behind me? That's the V5 Infinium. It's still going strong. I've had it for 2 years, I'm pretty sure now. I got it summertime 2 years ago, around Christmas time. Yeah, I think it's 2 years old, so it's still going alright. The only thing I did was replace the preamp tube with one that didn't rattle. exactly the same conversation as before. I actually used that amplifier on the video of diagnosing amp rattle because it had a few rattles, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with this thing? And it's the valve. So tube amps generally will be the valve rattling, especially if it's a new amp. A lot of these Chinese amps like this will have inherent issues. My friend's got the 22. He's like, oh, my amp's rattling, I don't know where it is. I'm like, tap the valves, you know, this is, just replace this one, you'll be fine. And that fixed it. So is that clipping? It's an original song I had ages ago. It wasn't quite that dirty, but it's inspired by the riff from Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Yeah, it's a nice guitar. That's from Tracy. Yeah, it's cool. It's something different. I want to take this out and play it live while I got it. Maybe next week or the week. Oh no, next week's Christmas, so it'll be a couple of weeks away. Maybe New Year's we're doing a small little jam thing. So I think I might take it out and give it a play there. It's pretty cool. Riff sounds like an early Kiss riff. Yeah, and like I said too, it's that's way dirtier than it actually is. It's much cleaner than that on the actual recording. So do I know what the price on this guitar is? I don't off the top of my head. I don't know if I looked it up. I'm guessing it'll be somewhere around, I'm going to just ballpark figure it because I'm not exactly sure, but if you go to littlecrowguitars.com, you'll be able to find it there, but I'm tipping it'll be probably around $1,800 Australian, which is 1,500 American dollars, somewhere around there. And yeah, it's cool, man. There's also if you look up Justin Johnson, who's a great fingerstyle player on YouTube, and he's got like 1 million subscribers on Facebook now, something crazy. I think his one has a Bigsby, like it's actually got the full thing on there. I'm not really into that. I mean, I like Bigsby's, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Thanks, Daniel. Have a good day, man. I might wrap it up here in a minute as well. If anyone has any last minute questions or whatever, feel free to ask. Thanks for hanging around. It's been an hour and 44 minutes, man. Far out. How about that? Yeah, Justin is awesome. Yeah, he's a great player. I remember when he had a viral video a while back on all social media. It was him playing a guitar that was a shovel. And after that, he just... Like, I think he was already pretty... I mean, he's a great muso, obviously, already, but I think that was the video that kind of got him going. Hey, Robert, you should have a chat to the guys at Little Crow, man. They might fire something out to you. I have a feeling they might be interested. I don't know what or if they will, but I'm pretty certain. Shoot me an email, man, and remind me, and I'll hook you up. And like I said, this one's got to go back. This isn't mine. At least I don't think it is. But yeah, when I get my other one back, I'll be playing it a whole lot more. I can't wait for the bigger frets to go in there. And yeah, it's a pretty sweet guitar. And like I said, if you don't want to play it, you can just sit there and smell it. It's amazing. Great stream. Thanks, Jamal. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Record more live jams. I will. I think that's coming up pretty soon. We're already, as soon as that first one went live, we realized like we should be doing more of this sort of stuff. And we're going to make it a point to hopefully bring different gear every time. Oh, like not every time, obviously, but we've got enough stuff that we can bring different guitars at least every other time, or different amps and all that kind of stuff. So I think we're going to be mixing it up and hopefully bringing some cool gear in and playing some different songs. And yeah, we might do a blues standard kind of night or something. Then we'll do like an originals one, and I don't know, just mix it up like that. So I'm gonna start doing trio stuff again next year for a little while as well. I really want to sort of get back into doing a bit of that. So that'll be something that will push me to play better again, which is always good. I feel like my minus like when I'm just noodling around like this, like I feel like my playing's developed in the last 12 months, especially when I watch like some of the intro tracks I make. There's a lot of different ideas that weren't there like earlier in the year, but there's something really hard about playing in a trio. It really isn't easy. So I used to do it all the time, and I've lost that maybe hand-brain connection thing. You know, my independence isn't quite as good as it used to be. So anyway. MattyK, that's hilarious. Guitar Pit says, can you elaborate on Dr. Rick's impossible amount of charisma and sarcasm? Would be another one in there as well. Why do I want him to be my friend? Rick's awesome, man. He's a great guy. You know, he's an inspiring sort of guy. He's just a good dude. He can play his ass off on guitar. You know, he's played with pros over the years. He's a professional in his day job. He did my back surgery, so he's legit. We did it, you know, at the back of one of the jam nights. He just cut me open and said, "There you go, you're on your way." No, we did it properly, but no, he's a serious dude. You know, he's a great guy. Should we try Freebird again? No. Oh, that sucks. Lost my sense of smell after surgery. You guys have all the fun. Oh, did I miss something up here? Let me just grab the mouse again. Sorry, guys. That's awesome, Robert. Hey, guys, thanks for hanging out. I think we'll wrap it up. And yeah, we had a pretty good turnout today, which is awesome. And hopefully I got through your questions. And if I missed anything and you're watching this back on the replay without the red dots in the title, then I'll get back to you once it's saved on YouTube, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, rock on. Have a good Christmas. Odds are, I don't know if I'll do a live stream before Christmas or not. Other than this one, I might see if I can cram one in. But if you do or don't celebrate that, have a good holiday season and all that kind of stuff. But I reckon I'll probably jump on one more time just to be sure. But yeah, MattyK, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that as well. Earlier, your name is in the title of this video. And we're gonna wrap this up. And just for kicks, because I keep forgetting I did this. Watch this. Ready? Is it gonna work? Here we go. We can put all the comments on screen. I totally forgot I did this. I nerded it up one day. Oh, I've lost my titles. There's usually titles above everything here. That's really crazy. Oh well, I haven't done it for a while. But anyway, guys, take it easy. Have a good rest of the evening, day, wherever you may live. And I'll catch you soon. I love the fact I can do this. Ready? Or is it? Oh, can I not do it? No, I'm just going to fade to black. You can go Metallica or you could go Mark Knopfler. Did a song called that as well. Alright guys, take it easy. Thanks again. Catch you soon. See ya.